Hi there. Let's take stock of the situation, size up the context here. Where are we? Well, we're at the Alan Chadwick Garden, 800-foot elevation, 2-3 miles inland from the Pacific Ocean, 37 degrees north of the equator, Santa Cruz, California, on a very steep, precipitously so, south-facing slope. Has its hazards, but it has its benefits. The main benefit is it's a distinctly warmer microclimate. And then where are we in terms of the year, the seasons? We're trying to have spring. Spring's taken the long way back from winter here. Been in fits and starts over the last month or so. To wit, to my right here, a bloomin' pear. To my left here, a bloomin' apple. The usual timing of blooming is the pears will start up in Feb, reach their peak in March. By now they have a fruit set. Not so, they're just coming up into full bloom now. The apples are a little later and they are following suit like that. So it's a little bit of a late spring, but also I think things are going to accelerate rapidly because of the weather conditions. We've got temperatures today probably be 74, 75, 76 degrees. Nighttime temperatures high 40s, low 50s. Plenty of sunshine, little or no wind, big bloom, a lot of pollen, buzzing bees and such, and we should get a pretty good fruit set. So it's hopeful. But how did we get here? And I don't mean in the long term, I mean since last fall. In the fall, throughout the garden, but particularly in the fruit trees, we lay down wood chip mulch, pretty thick, 3-4 inches. And then we scatter sow, broadcast sow into that mulch various cover crops. Our standard go-to mix, BVOP, bell beans, veg, oats, and peas, although we use a whole lot of different combinations. And lately, more and more, I'm liking mustard to be in the mix, as it were. It's a really good nurse crop. That is, it comes up quicker than all the other ingredients, maybe as quick as 3 to 5 days. Gives you some initial plant cover, leaf cover, and holding power of the soil like that. It's just easy. Oh, also, because of the sulfur content in the seed, well, it's mustard. Birds don't like to eat it as much as they do, say, the bell beans or the veg like that. So starting in October, we mulched, we scatter sowed cover crop. It germinated, it grew, and throughout the garden, in our tree system, a lot of our cover crop has already been dropped, chopped, and mulched over. Let me pause here and talk about our management system here at Chadwick Garden, which is year 1, year 2, post-planting, compost, organic fertilizers, mulch, and cover crop. Thereafter, if the tree is growing well, mostly it's a no-till system where we just spread mulch, sow cover crop into it, grow it up, drop it down, chop it up, mulch over it again, and it goes on and on like that, and it works quite well. Now, with garden scale, that's not farm scale, but garden scale cover crops, an issue is the bulkiness of the crop, its carbon buildup, and its difficulty in taking down and chopping up. So we have a couple different routes that we go, and one is the traditional one here, a handwork system. We take a sharpened machete and we just whack the cover crop at the base, getting as close to the ground as we can. A little stubble's okay, and then it's just chop, 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 chop like that. The idea here being that the finer the particle size of this bulky cover crop, the greater the surface area, the more the microbes can get on it, and the more quickly they can munch and crunch and break it down. Mind you, microbes don't have mouth parts, they do it enzymatically. They slime the material. So we put down a mulch in the fall, sow cover crop in it, stand back, grow it, drop it, chop it, mulch over it again, and it goes on and on like that. Lately, we've been using a weed whip to do some of this work. And I like it and I don't like it. I like the gentle sound of chop, chop, chop from the machete. I like a handwork system. And yet, the weed whip is very expedient. It can take this 6-foot cover crop and turn it into very small particle size like that. Goes quicker, less labor, easier to mulch over. Usually with comparisons you go before and after, but I'm going to go after and before. After, this is the result of about a 5 or 6 foot mixed cover crop that was dropped with a machete, chopped up into relatively small 4-6 inch long pieces, and mulched over with wood chips. Voila! It's a beautiful thing. And now we have the before. This is a burgeoning cover crop. We've got mustard, yellow flowered mustard here, 6, 7, 8 foot tall. We've got 4 or 5 foot tall bell beans and more. And we're needing to get in there and take it down and mulch over it. And we could move in with a machete, as mentioned before, or we could use a weed whip. Here is Ruben Ezekiel, a trusted companion, friend, student worker, ex officio garden manager. He's gonna weed whip for you. Okay, cover crop takedown part 2. One of the things about using cover crop as a green manure on a garden scale is you got to get it early when it's young and succulent, not with such a high carbon buildup like this beautiful but stubborn mustard plant has. It's just got a really waxy cuticle here, resistant to the weed whip here. So we're going to revert to our standard old-fashioned handwork. Grab a sharpened machete, whack, chop at the base, and then once we get the material down on the ground, it can be a little stubble, it's okay. Then we just chop it up to a finer particle size. Again, the finer the particle size, the quicker the breakdown. Then we'll come and mulch over. And if you had a hard day at the office or things aren't going well in general, this is a good way to vent. And thinking about it, this is akin to essentially what would be a sheet composting system. As you make compost, you lay down layers of carbon and nitrogen, alternating thin layers. Well, this is it in the ground. It's called sheet composting. You lay down your green material, you mulch over with carbon. That would be wood chips in this instance. What's going on with these trees right now this year is more a function of what we did to these trees last mid-late summer. And the cover crop we're turning in now is going to be a long, slow rot down. Probably be available in terms of nutrients mid-late summer, which will fuel a second surge of root growth, finish off the crop, and help initiate next spring's flower buds. So what's happening this year is a function of last year. What's happening now is a function of how good hopefully it's going to be next year. The finishing stages here. Grew a cover crop, dropped and chopped, mulching it over. We're just about done here underneath this beautiful pear, a very unusual pear, rare pear as it were, called Belle de Giugno. Pardon my Italian, but Belle of June. Little 2-3 inch oblong pear, just like all sugar. And to have a pear in June, that is out of this world. Okay, so the next stage is to finish off the wood chip mulch here. Let's go. And to the degree you can get it thick and cover all the green material, that'll be packed, sequestered in there and rot down and give you all kinds of nutrients, particularly nitrogen. A little bit sticks out, hey, it's okay. But the greater the coverage, the more it's sealed in, and you're going to get benefit from the nutrients as this decomposes. It'll take a couple months for this green material to decompose, but then it'll be available nutrients from mid-late summer. See what Ruben's doing here. It doesn't matter if it's just planted tree or a 25-year-old tree like this pear here. You've always got to take care to have a nice open circle, a little collar around the trunk of the tree where you have no organic material. It doesn't matter if it's compost, doesn't matter if it's fertilizer, chips, green manure. Keep it open. There's a chance that you could get that stuff up against the trunk. If you got a little nick, it'll bring in disease and it'll be a sad tale. Next step is we're moving up the hill. You can see the cover crops. Got to come down, got to get chopped, got to get covered. It's spring. We're bopping and we're hopping. Let's bop, let's hop.